Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Pot Smoker's Bible. I am Zion, the author of the Pot Smoker's Bible, which contains the prophetic book of Zion, where I get my name and authority. It is an unpublished manuscript, or two unpublished manuscripts, um, that I had to write as a dual book in order to publish. But because I'm not trying to make money off of this, I chose to publish peace without the use of money in fulfillment of prophecy as laid out in the Book of Zion. And today I'm reading to you from the 24th chapter of the Pot Smoker's Bible, which contains the 20th, 21st chapter of the Book of Zion. And I'm going to take up where I left off last time. It goes like this. So, the nations of the world that oppose my people are ignorant of God's intent. They don't understand how drugs and or God works. However, that doesn't excuse their behavior. The truth has been before them the whole time, so they didn't choose to know. These words aren't new. I didn't make them up. For the past 3,000 years, this prophecy has been available to all nations. If they weren't blinded by false beliefs, they wouldn't have fulfilled the prophecy. But they chose to enact it as if it were a reversal of what's always been before their eyes. So the entire world will marvel at the truth of the Book of Zion, as if it were a new, amazing thing, when it's as ancient as our own society. But this knowledge will be a horrible realization for the nations. Those nations that have violated God's laws in regards to God's people. So, the entire world has a rude awakening coming. Now, the next passage of this prophecy states, Arise and thrash, O daughter of Zion, for I will make thou horn of iron, and I will make thy hooves brass, and thou shalt beat in pieces many people. And I will consecrate their gain unto the Lord, and their sustenance unto the Lord of the whole earth. This verse is also talking about the grinding mill. I also see our unicorn goddess Zion walking the mill, her horn encased in iron, and her hooves covered in brass. But the image is clear. I, as the rightful daughter of Zion, am to use this knowledge to trample the lies that destroy my people. The advent of this book and the subsequent rise of the nation of Zion and the arrival of the gray will put me in a very powerful position. The nations that have abused my people will have to pay for their crimes. America won't be the only nation stripped of its wealth. Many countries will pay a heavy price for their war crimes. Oh, yes, war crimes. The unlawful theft of property and or money is a crime. Kidnapping children is a crime. Unlawful imprisonment is a crime. Defamation of character is a crime. There's also the public cost of the war, unlawful use of tax revenue, in the violation of human rights, according to the Constitution of the United States of America and the other countries, in an act of open warfare, as declared by President Ronald Reagan. That makes all of these war crimes. The nations that have violated the civil rights of the Zionite people will be tried and convicted and punished alongside of America, the instigator of all of these atrocities. These violations aren't as dire or deadly as the Nazi Germany oppression of our brothers of Israel, but they are still just as guilty of doing irrevocable harm to a people who have done no harm to society. The harm was done to my people, not by my people. Our use of drugs is what defines us as a people. We are drawn to the drugs just as a priest is drawn to the church. We who are who we are. No one has the right to punish us for being who we are and doing what we choose to do of our own free will. We didn't choose to become outlaws. The Grey chose us to become their people. We aren't like other people, but that doesn't mean that we're wrong. We have the same rights as everyone else. We were drawn to the drugs by karma, by circumstance, and by divine election. But until the publication of the Book of Zion, we are a subjugated people who are treated as outlaws, having our rights stripped from us because we have no means to justify our use of drugs. But this book will change all of that. The entire world will be unwilling witnesses to the end of the world as we know it. I get to be the one at the center of it all. I get to right the wrongs done to my people by this backward society that punishes those who have found the true God of all of humanity. And the people of Zion will be given compensation for our suffering. The same nations that abuse us will have to atone for their wrongdoings. The spoils will go to God, to be used for the people of Zion, who will be the saviors of the human race. A new priesthood with the means to provide for one and all. Because the nations who pay for these crimes will be providing the Grey with the means to save the poor and to safeguard the human race. So the nations will, in a sense, be forced to do what they had claimed was their job in the first place, to provide for the citizens. Which brings us to our next passage of the prophecy of the Book of Zion. It is Isaiah 43:19-22, which becomes Zion 21:10-13. Behold, I will do a new thing. Now it shall spring forth. Shall ye not know it? I will even make a way in the wilderness and rivers in the desert, to give drink to my people. The beasts of the field shall honor me, the dragons and the owls, because I give water in the wilderness and rivers in the desert, to give drink to my people, my chosen. This people have I formed for myself. They shall show forth my praise. But thou hast not called upon me, O Jacob, and thou hast been wary of me, O Israel. Isaiah 43:19 states, Behold, I will do a new thing. It shall spring forth. Shall ye not know it? I will even make a way in the wilderness and rivers in the desert. The beasts of the field shall honor me, and the dragons and the owls, because I give water in the wilderness and rivers in the desert to give drink to my people, my chosen. I'm not sure what Isaiah means by dragons here. Or I didn't know at that time. But the ancient dragon was a vehicle of, or a car, or a plane, or a ship in some instance, in ancient lore. So the dragon here intended is not a living dragon, but a mechanical transport. So the animals of earth honor the gray, in thanks, no doubt, to the cars, trains, and planes uh, that God has stopped. So by stopping our use of mechanical mechanisms, the animals will thrive. This is telling us that we will be parking our vehicles for good. We need to stop polluting now. We need to park our cars and ride a bike or convert them all to electrical. Gas is killing us. When the gray come, we will go to Zion, park our cars, and stop the pollution. We have no choice. We have to stop using carbon-based fuels. The latter part of this verse suggests that the gray will change our um, topography or climate change will. But either way, the land of Zion is partially desert. The upper plains are rather barren. But that is going to change, either by design or by nature. So no matter the means, my people will have abundant water in our new homeland. This people have I formed for myself, the Bible says. They shall show forth my praise. Because my people have already come to know the gray by the intertelepathic communications that we have come to enjoy over the past 70 years, we will find our new role in life to be a joyful experience. We who have suffered for being ourselves will love being a chosen people. um, who get to explore an entire new galaxy of adventures. The people of Zion will be very grateful and very willing to explore our new abilities and identify as priests of the gray. I still feel awe at the idea of THC as a genetic switch. I wonder at the thought that I'm about to change history. It's very humbling. So even as I revel in my newfound place in society, I am in awe of what I'm doing as I sit here writing this life-changing book. Mm, and that is exactly how my people are going to feel when they learn about how an alien race put into motion the events that would make them a unique form of priest and at the evolution of humanity. The next Bible passage states, But thou hast not called upon me, O Jacob, and thou hast been wary of me, O Israel. But the gray are forced to wait on us to realize who we are, so that we can invite them to come to earth. They have to wait and watch, because to do anything else would to do the unthinkable, to force their presence on us. They don't feel that they can force their entrance into our world. That would make them exactly what Hollywood has portrayed them to be, invaders. So we have to invite them to make first contact. Instead, we have been wasting our lives partying away. Instead of instead of spreading the joy, we hide it away. We need to see the light, the gray light. We need to get together and invite our father race to come and introduce themselves to us. And that is where I'm going to leave off for today. So may the Grey watch over you, guide you, protect you, and keep you from all harm. May they teach you right from wrong, and may you be worthy of them. May your thoughts, words, and deeds reflect truth, good, and light the unicorn way. Find your joy and pursue it. Make that your guild choice when we go to Zion, Camp Zion, or Nation, either or. Um, If you use drugs, stay happy and high. You have every right and reason to. Believe me, I know. I wrote 2 books about it. My name is Zion. I'm the champion of all drug users. I'll never say goodbye, so I'm going to say later now.